Welcome back to the channel. We got Connor and Kurtisha here. We got some exciting news. They've just finished closing on their third property. We'll talk about the first rental property they did and kind of how that's going and about the next one. So let's jump into it. And this is one I saw come up on my feed a bit, and I've been watching it personally for myself. It's in my school zone. It looks really good from the curb appeal. I shot it to you at some point, maybe earlier on when the price was higher, and it kind of came down and came down and came down. And then at some point, I think it looked interesting to you, probably money-wise.
Yeah, they first listed, I think it was $325. We just didn't jump on it. We kind of just rushed it to the side, and then he sent it to us again and dropped down ultimately, I think, to $299 after the second drop. That drop went much more attractive to us, so we jumped on it.
And this one actually we did together with me as the realtor. So I just recently got my license, and thank you for using me. This has been like extra fun and patient with me. And I really enjoyed helping them negotiate and get some terms. That's fun to me. They had a fridge and they excluded it from the listing. Of course, I'm like, oh, we're going to try to get this fridge, which we did. And then you wanted to try to save some of your cash, which I always recommend. And we were able to get them to pay what, 8,000 or 9,000 of your closing?
9.
We got it contingent upon financing. We got it contingent upon appraisal. We got it contingent upon an inspection. A lot of times I've had to buy a lot of stuff to get a good deal on it with zero contingencies and cash and that kind of thing. So you got a loan contingency. That was a big deal. But on their disclosure, because we bought it from people who live there, so they have to disclose if there's anything wrong. And the one thing they had was the heating and air had some issues with it with some breaker board or something. And so in addition to scheduling an inspection right away, we also hired a heating and air guy to go inspect it. A general inspection is not going to know details about heating and air. He'll check the temperature and see if it looks like it's working, but he won't know the inner workings of it. The heating and air company came out and found some stuff wrong with it.
Yeah, so they quoted it was going to be about $700, to fix and replace the board. So that was great information. Then we used that to, you took it back to them and basically got them to pay for it.
Yep. So we asked the seller if they would consider paying for that entire amount, which they did, and they gave us a check at closing for it.
Yep.
If you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel if you would click the like button. I always like to try to fill out the seller agent for what else could we do to make this deal appeal to the sellers. And so one thing they said was, well, they're moving out of town. They're moving from Chattanooga to Nashville, and she's following her dreams of being a vocal artist. How cool is that? Did you see the guitar in her bedroom?
No, I didn't notice it.
We did. So, they're motivated, if you will. And we said, what would appeal to them? And she said, well, before they sign this and getting through this whole process, they want to make sure that they don't move out and the deal fall through. They said, before they pack up a moving truck and all, if you would give them a few days after closing so that they don't load the truck until it successfully closes, that would give them a lot of peace of mind before they go on to their next journey. And I said, we can do that, right? And so we did. So we gave, I think, 5 days after closing. Yep. I think they took 6 or 7 or something like that.
Yeah, just about. It was no problem.
But just being, reasonable and easy to work with means a lot to people. So great job just being easy. I think it paid off.
Oh, absolutely.
We got all kinds of good stuff. So that was very fun. So you guys are packing up, planning on moving here.
Yes.
And the house you're living in now, you just started a Zillow ad looking for tenants. Somebody wants to see it today. You've had it on the market for how long?
24 hours.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're kind of looking for some high rent, which you can always come down.
Correct.
It's $24.95 to $26.95, somewhere in that higher range.
Yes.
Great job being flexible and just willing to move out of your place to go move in another one to build your portfolio.
Yeah.
Not everybody will do that.
No, it's a sacrifice for sure. It's
Yeah.
not our top choice, but it will be worth it. We understand that. We see the long-term gain.
So on your first rental property, and if you haven't seen those videos, I'll put a link up here. You can watch the whole playlist going through that process where we talked about it. We made offers on a few places, so they got tenants and all that kind of stuff. Remind the channel how much you're making cash flow on that, your first rental.
710.
710 after all your expenses. And they've been in there about how many months?
About 4 months.
About 4 months. How well are they doing paying rent?
Awesome. I haven't had to remind them once. They just pay on the first of the month every month, get that Venmo, and easy enough.
Hold on. Okay, so 710 on the first one, and you're about to rent this one and move. What kind of cash flow are you hoping to get on the second one?
We're looking for about 1,000.
That's awesome.
Bold, but we'll see.
You can always come down.
Yep.
Yes.
And we rented our house because we just moved also. And we ended up coming down, you look at all these people and it's like, how many people, pets and smokers are the 3 questions I ask. And you kind of feel like, who's the best fit for this house? Do I have some nice stuff that a bunch of people could tear up? So I look for fewer people maybe and smaller animals, So we did 2 people and 2 cats instead of 6 people and 3 dogs, literally.
Oh, wow.
But we came down a couple $100. To us, it was worth it. Be flexible there and not just all about the money, and you'll do well. First one, 710-ish, maybe 1,000 on your second. That's gonna be 1,700 positive cash flow with your 2 rentals and your one you live in. Look forward to seeing how this process goes and who you choose and that kind of thing.
I know.
And how much rent you get and how much cash flow.
Yeah, we'll see.
Kurtisha likes that part.
I do. That is my favorite part.
Yeah. And when you see it on the first or the second when it comes in, that little cha-ching.
Extra fun.
Yes. You guys are getting married next spring.
It's April, yeah.
And you're wanting to try to get at least one more in by then?
Probably, hopefully, yes.
Yep. What was the tough part of the whole purchase of this last property?
I guess the one first challenge off the bat was, it came on the market, I think it was over the weekend when we first kind of looked at it, and I was going to Texas for work. That Sunday I'd left for Texas. I think you guys had went and saw it on Monday after the class, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then we wrote the contract up. I was comfortable. You guys saw it, and I was like, let's do it. You guys convinced me. So you wrote up the contract and signed it on, I think it was on the plane on the way back. We filled it out. So that was kind of a quick thing, but no real stress. You guys know what you're talking about. So that was probably the biggest challenge of it all, just kind of the speed of it and that.
They countered, and then you accepted the offer, their counter offer, while changing flights.
Yep, that's
You're
right.
trying to catch your connecting flight.
Yeah, okay.
Signing these documents on your phone. So that was a whole ordeal. I'm very proud of him for being super bold and committing, because you put the deadline on the offer for midnight.
That's right.
That night, because they had another showing scheduled for the next morning. So Jeremy was super smart as always and put that deadline at midnight. So that's why we were extra rushed.
Because they had another showing the next day. We wanted to beat that, and we said if we give you a clean offer, what would that look like? To get you to sign it before they came, and we got it done.
Yeah.
And so Kurtisha and I went and saw it without Connor there, so she's videoing it while we're going around, sends him that, and we kind of tell him the good, bad, and the ugly of it. Really teamwork. It was a lot of fun, getting that deal.
I went there for the inspection and saw it in person. That was the first time I saw it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a great house, so I was, very happy and pleased with it. Yeah, there's no big surprises. The whole lending process was pretty smooth. Nothing crazy there. Unfortunately, the rates had gone up pretty significantly since we got it pre-approved, but still with that rate increase, it was still no problem.
Tell us about your rate. What'd you get?
Yeah, so it was actually 5.63, which is higher, and then I wasn't sure if it was going to go higher. I was thinking it was decently likely it was going to go higher. It actually dropped off about a week after I'd locked it in, which was unfortunate, but not the end of the world.
So 30-year fixed.
Yep.
No points.
Correct.
Okay. Because you're owner occupied.
Yep.
All right.
I used the same FILO as we've done on her house and then on the refinance. So we're, again, super low closing costs, no origination fee, none of that stuff. So super low there. The sellers paid for it, but still low closing costs there. So it wasn't anything over.
If you decide to rent this one later, even though you got a little higher rate, you're still going to be able to cash flow, just not as well at that rate, right?
Yeah, not as well. We're still anticipating, like if we rented the house today, we would probably get about 300 to 400 or so.
Okay.
So still pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And then eventually the rent's going to keep going up.
Sure, and you're paying it down, so all those good things. And you could always refinance if rates come back down again.
Exactly.
When I first started, my goal was to make at least $200 a month, and I wasn't buying $300,000 houses. I was buying like $100,000 houses. But on $100,000 houses or $130,000, I was hoping to cash flow like $200. My point is, it's about leveraging an asset, leveraging the bank's money, getting some cash flow, and just building some wealth. It all gets better over time. Thank you again for shooting another video on the channel.
Of course. Thank you for having us and for all of your help.
You're very welcome. We'll check back with you guys probably a couple weeks or so, 2-3 weeks or something like that, when there's some, probably have to get it rented.
Yeah.
Sure. Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel if you would click the like button. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and by the way, although I'm a licensed CPA and I have 3 business degrees, I'm just a guy on YouTube, so be sure to contact your professionals before making any investment decisions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Feel free to put any question you have in any video in the comments, and I'll be happy to do what I can to try to answer you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate your support. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Make sure to check out the rest of Jeremy's channel. It's helped us a ton. Go check it out. There's a lot of great stuff in there.
IdentityGuard.com is now offering my subscribers a 33% discount on their services. See the link in the show notes below.